So we're either gonna fail big or we're gonna succeed big. Either way, it was big and I did it. So we're gonna see. Alright, hey guys, it's Jocelyn and welcome back to my channel, Jocelyn Reads. And today I'm going to be doing my April TBR. I actually haven't done a TBR I think since February, but I am really excited for this TBR because I am participating in another readathon for the first time in how many months? Reading Rush. I think the Reading Rush was the last readathon that I participated in. So the readathon that I'm participating in this month is called O.W.L.s. I'm pretty sure that this readathon was created by G at the book roast. I'll link her original video announcing all the things for 2020 down below. I think this is a really good readathon. It's very, very successful. A lot of people, I think this is one of the most participated in readathons other than the Reading Rush on BookTube, just because we're all Harry Potter nerds. We all freaking love Harry Potter and we all wish that we were a part of it. So this is the one time of the year, along with Newts, that we can pretend that we are a part of the Harry Potter world and we go to Hogwarts. So why wouldn't we jump in? Basically for this readathon, you pick a career and then it comes with a list of prompts that if you complete means that you are on your way to being that career. You also have to do Newts, and I'm not sure when Newts comes out, but you also have to complete your Newts in order to officially be named that career. I'm pretty sure. This is my first time participating, so I may be a little bit off on what I give information wise, but just know that the original video will be down below in order for you to get all the correct information. The career that I chose, I have my bullet journal right here, so if you see me looking down, this is the spread that I made. The career that I chose was Mind Medic, and I'm really excited for this career because when I saw it, I literally thought, this is me. A Mind Medic is basically a clinical psychologist or psychiatrist, however you want to look at it, and that is actually what I'm in school to study. I am a sophomore going into my junior year after this semester, and I am a major in psychology who is on a pre-med track, so I'm looking to be a psychiatrist in the future. So when I saw this career, I was really excited because it's me. The first prompt for a Mind Medic to complete is Ancient Runes, and for Ancient Runes you have to read a book with either heart in the cover or heart on the title. The book that I ended up choosing actually was Call It What You Want by Bridget Kimmerer. I really enjoy her contemporaries. Bridget Kimmerer's contemporaries are always very hard-hitting. Both the boy and the girl are always suffering from some type of very tragic situation, and they end up coming together to kind of break down these walls that they have built up against each other, and this book is no different. This book follows a boy named Rob, and Rob's father is an embezzler, and I guess the whole town knows, so Rob's family kind of has a bad reputation. And Megan is basically an overachiever whose sister comes home pregnant, so her family is having some type of conflict with her sister being a teen mom, and so Rob and Megan are both kind of in these tough situations that have made them close themselves off when they get paired together for a calculus project, and during that project they kind of have to break down these walls and get to know each other, and they hopefully end up falling in love. So the next prompt that is required in order to be a Mind Medic is arrhythmia, and this is to read a book outside of your favorite genre. I would say my favorite genre is either new adult or YA fantasy. As you can tell behind me, there's a little bit of adult fantasy there, but those are my two favorite genres. So I chose the book Lovely War by Julie Berry because it is a historical fiction. It takes place in between World War I and World War II. Not like in between them, but like arranged. So it's like from World War I, I think, to World War II. I'm still not completely sure about the timeline, but I do know it's historical fiction with a little kick of mythology as well. This book follows the gods of love and war, Lovely War, and they are on trial for some reason, and they have to basically explain why they keep falling in love during times of war. And I'm pretty sure the book is broken up into like different stories of them falling in love during different wars, and Heather absolutely raves about this book, so I am so excited to finally get to it during this readathon. All right, so the next prompt that I have is charms, and the thing that we're learning this year I'm pretty sure is Lumos Maxima, so we have to read a book with a white cover, and I'm actually buddy reading the book that I chose with Jessica from Theatrical. She also uploaded a TBR, which I'll link down below if you guys would like to see it. And the book that we are reading together is The Library of the Unwritten by AJ Hackwood, another book picked up because of Heather's influence. Like, whenever Heather recommends a book, I just have to pick it up. I've already said it before, but she has some of the best taste on BookTube. I said what I said. So this book basically follows a library in hell, and this is similar to Sorcery of Thorns. I'm pretty sure it's like basically an adult Sorcery of Thorns. The main character has to take care of the books down in hell, and she has to keep the characters within the books. But I'm pretty sure in this book, one of the characters escapes from his book and goes in search of his author, so Heather has to kind of go through this journey through hell to get this character back into the book, and it literally just sounds so good. I love the library of aspect of Sorcery of Thorns, and I wish that it was explored a bit more other than them just chasing a grimoire around. I wanted to really get into the intricacies of the library, so I feel like the Library of the Unwritten will kind of give me what I was missing from Sorcery of Thorns. Even though I absolutely love the book, I think that will fill up that void that I felt from the library aspect of Sorcery of Thorns. So the next exam that I'm going to be completing is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and for this prompt you have to read a book set by DC. Oh my god, I didn't even realize all of these in a row are all because of Heather from Aphrodite Reads. So just name this Reading My Fave's Favorite Books, because honestly. So the book that I picked for a book set beside the sea is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This book is basically a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, and it's supposed to be a bit of horror, and that's really all I know about it. And then my next prompt is Herbology, and this is to read a book that starts with an M. So for this prompt I picked my most anticipated read of 2020, so I am really excited for this. It's a bit big, but I'm still excited. I'll link my video up above where I talked about my top 20 books I wanted to read in 2020. And yeah, this one was the top one, and it was Middle Game by Shannon McGuire. This is a bit of a chunker, so I'm kind of scared because my TBR is already kind of big because of how many prompts that my career requires. So we're either going to fail big or we're going to succeed big. Either way, it was big and I did it, so we're going to see. So this book is also one that I don't know the most about just because the synopsis doesn't give that much, and I just feel like the synopsis itself doesn't even encompass how good this book is and what exactly goes on in it. But it follows a set of twins named Roger and Dodger. I'm pretty sure Roger is a female twin and Dodger is the boy, and they have these special skill sets. They're very skilled. I think Dodger is skilled in like language and Roger is maybe skilled in like math or something like that, and science. And they're created by this man named Reed, who has basically created a set of gods. They're as close to gods as you're going to get in this world, I'm pretty sure, and he wants to use their powers in order to get some type of authority in the world that he's living in. Alright, so the next prompt that I have is Mobile Studies, and obviously the prompt for this one is to read a contemporary. What more could you have asked for this? And for this I actually chose Mr. Nice Guy by Jennifer Miller and Jason Pfeiffer. I talked about this in a book outlet haul a while back. I still haven't read it yet. Nobody's surprised. I'm not, you're not, we're not. So for this prompt I didn't want to read another YA contemporary just because I'm not in the mood for YA contemporary right now. I don't know what it is. I'm just not feeling it. So I already have one on my TBR and I just didn't want to do another one, so I thought a new adult would be good because I usually just fly through these. So this book follows a sex columnist who writes about sex, obviously, in a journal, and it starts off with her having a bad sexual encounter with an inexperienced guy, and she writes about it in her sex column. And it turns out the guy that she slept with was a guy who also works for the same journal as her, and he's obviously humiliated by having this written about, and so he decides to write back to her with some type of rebuttal, and he signs up Mr. Nice Guy. And the person who is in charge of their journal ends up really liking this idea of this back and forth that they have for each other, so he decides that, I don't know if he actually puts this into paper that they have to sleep with each other every week and then write about it, but basically they come to this sort of agreement that they have to sleep with each other every single week and then have this kind of dialogue back and forth through the journal. And that's what this book follows. I'm really interested to see how it goes because it sounds like it's going to be a bit of hate to love, and if it's written well, I think this will be very funny, have lots of banter, and just hopefully be a good new adult read to split up all these kind of big books that I'm reading. The next prompt that I have in order to be a mind medic is potions, and for this prompt you have to read a book less than 150 pages. And let me tell you, I tore these shelves apart looking for a book that is less than 150 pages. So I ended up checking Kindle Unlimited because Jessica from Theatrical Reader told me to try to look on there, and I just couldn't find a new adult book that was less than 150 pages. And I realized as I was searching that it was probably just going to be a book that didn't have lots of build up, which means I wouldn't have liked it. So I just went ahead and picked a graphic novel off of Kindle Unlimited. This is my little Kindle that I'm looking on. And so the graphic novel that I ended up picking up was Lumberjanes by Stevenson, Ellis, Waters, and Allen. I don't know what their first names are. Here it is on my Kindle. If you want to know what a graphic novel looks like on a Kindle, it's kind of like this. But here's what it kind of looks like. It's kind of like a little movie. It's really cool. And I actually really like this even more than reading a graphic novel in person, just because I feel like I get really thrown off by all the boxes just because I don't know where to focus. So the last prompt that I have in order to be a mind medic is Transfiguration, and for this prompt you have to read a book with some type of shape-shifting. So for this prompt I chose City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I just finished reading The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare and ended up really loving those. I've already read these ones before, so I'm reading all of Cassandra Clare's works so I can understand Chain of Gold, so I can have a reason to buy it, so I can have that cover on my shelf. Something is wrong with me. Okay, so that was my last prompt in order to become a mind medic, but there are also extra credit prompts, basically just to have a little bit of a side hustle, I guess. So I guess I'll be a psychologist, and then I chose the side hustle of being a lawyer. And yes, I did this even though my career already has 8 prompts. Who am I if not an overachiever? I don't know. So I chose another prompt. I'm gonna be a lawyer and a psychiatrist, and I'm basically just gonna be the baddest bitch at Hogwarts. Nobody's coming like me, so I'm excited. So the extracurricular thing that I chose is officially called Legal Defense of Fantastic Beasts, and it had 2 extra prompts. The first being Care of Magical Creatures, and for this one you have to read a book with a beak on the cover, and so I chose The Storm Crow by Kaylin Joseph, and I don't remember what it's about, but we're gonna find out together when I vlog this readathon. So look for a synopsis there because I really don't remember what this is about. Alright, so the last prompt and the last book that I'll be reading for this specific readathon is also going towards me being a lawyer, obviously, and it is History of Magic. And for this prompt you have to read a book that involves witches of some kind, and I'm going to be reading Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I started this book so long ago. It was a buddy read. Oh, it's Carden! My baby Carden is in this book. So I ended this book on page 118. I haven't picked it up since. Definitely going to be restarting it for the readathon because I don't know what happened. This is a buddy read that I just never ended up finishing because I was a bit confused in the beginning, but I think I just need to reread it and put my mind to it, and hopefully I'll understand it this time. All I know about this book is that it follows a world where there's a whole bunch of different types of witches, and it follows a truth witch and a thread witch who are best friends, and they're for some reason getting chased by a blood witch. I think they did something that they shouldn't have done, and now a blood witch is chasing them and trying to get them, and there's also a war that's going on. That's literally the worst description ever, but I really don't know what this is about, so there you go. Hopefully we'll figure it out together in my vlog. Like I said before, we are also reading some of the same books, and you want to buddy read, kind of reach out to me on Twitter at Jocelyn Reads, and hopefully we can figure out a schedule that we can buddy read together or something. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my TBR video. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!